Myself, Dr. M. K. Bhoklu, Department Mathematics, Government College Ajmer. In my previous lectures, we defined the binary operation, we defined the group, and we say that a G star is a group, means it is a binary operation as well as holding the properties of the group, basic properties of the group. Today we are going to discuss for this G star is a group is given to us, and we have to show in our earlier lecture the question may arise in our minds that whether the identity is unique or not, whether the inverse is unique or not. To answer these two questions, today we prove that if we are given this algebraic structure as a group, as soon as we say that this is a group, there should be some things to be in our conscious mind that it is closure, it have associative property, it have identity, it have inverse. So as soon as we say it is a group, we can prove that identity is unique, inverse is unique, inverse of inverse A is equal to A, and AD inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. It is known as reversal law. These we have to prove as basic properties or simple properties of the group. So let us take them one by one. Identity is unique means we have to show that the identity which exists in a group is a unique, means there is no other identity, only one identity exists. In order to prove this, let us suppose there exist two identities in the group, E1 and E2, say. E1 and E2 are identities, so they belongs to Z group. Let us suppose E1 is identity and E2 is any other element, means E1 star E2 is equal to E2. It is any other element operated by the identity will give the E2, and similarly E2 operation E1. Again, we suppose if E2 is identity, then E1 is any other element, E2 and E1 is equal to E1 is equal to E1 and E2. So from these two we can see that E2 E1 is equal to E2 E1, and here E2 E1 is equal to E1, and here E2 E1 is equal to E2. From these two we can say that E1 is equal to E2. Means identity is not different, but it is unique, and it is denoted by E say is equal to E say. So now and onwards, as soon as we say E is identity, it is unique in every group. No other identity exists in any group. Again, second simple property of the group is inverse is unique, means there is no other inverse of any element. Only one inverse exists for a element in a group. Let us suppose A belongs to G is any element, and we have to prove that there exists only one inverse for this element A. On the contrary, let us suppose E1 and B and C be two inverse of A. B and C be two inverse of A, then naturally if B is the inverse of A, will give us the identity is equal to B operation A. Since B is the inverse of A, so A operation B is equal to identity is equal to B operation A. This is 1. And if C is inverse of A, then it gives us is equal to identity is equal to C operation A is equal to identity. So from these two we can see that B is the inverse of A, here B is the inverse of A, and here C is the inverse of A, and our target is to prove that B and C are not different but they are equal. So for this we will start from this B. We can write B is equal to B operations E. We can write E is identity and B is any element. So we can write B is equal to B into identity. So why we take, I will discuss it later on. Let us first prove that B is equal to C. Our target is to prove B is equal to C. So B star, here I can write for E, I can write it is equal to A and C, A operation C. Can I write? E is equal to A operation C from here, A operation C. And using the associative property, I can write B is equal to A operation C. In algebra, we should mention the property which we are using here along with this equation where we write, we should mention the property which we are using, that is associative property in G. We should mention this property which we are using here should be mentioned there. So this is equal to B into A. From here B into A is equal to E and operation C, and E operation C is equal to C. So here we prove that B is equal to C, means B and C are not different but they are same. Now, as I earlier told you that I judiciously write this E here, why E here, and I took E is equal to A operation C, none other than A and C. I may be taken B into A here, but we have to prove that B is equal to C. It means we have to introduce C here. Otherwise, it will not be possible for us to prove. So I introduce C from here, and finally I got that here C. So we proved that B is equal to C, means the inverse of A is not different. These two inverses are not different but they are same. So inverse exists as soon as I say this is a group, means inverse exists. But here we prove that inverse exists, not only exists but it is unique in a group. It is not different. Third, we have to prove inverse of inverse A is equal to A. How we can prove this? Inverse of inverse A. We have to prove, for this we have to prove A is any element of G. Let us suppose A is any element of G, and as I told, it is a group, so inverse of A also belongs to G. This is the basic property of group, basic nature of group, and inverse exists, so I can write A and A inverse is equal to identity is equal to A inverse into operation A. A operation A inverse is equal to identity is equal to A inverse operation A. What we have to prove? That inverse of inverse A. Inverse of inverse A is equal to A. So we can take any of these two and prove this. What we have to do? Let us take from this side. A inverse operation A is equal to identity. Let us operate this by this in left side. A inverse operation A is equal to, in left side both way I operate this by A inverse of A like this. So using associative property here, A inverse operation A inverse operation A is equal to, since this is identity, so it is A inverse. Here again we should mention the property which we used here, that associative property here in G, and here we use the identity property. So both of these property we use here, and finally we get this. Now what is this? This will give us the identity. Since A inverse belongs to the G, so A inverse is an element of G, so its inverse is also an element of G. Therefore this will give us the identity and A is equal to A inverse of inverse A. Means here what we have proved, that we use the property of G. Which property of G? Means inverse property of G. Inverse property, by using inverse property of G, we find this, we get this result. And from here A is equal to A inverse of inverse, using the property of identity. So we should mention identity here, identity property here. We get A is equal to inverse of A inverse. Thus we prove this. Thus we have proved this one, and this one. Then finally, what we have to no, not only this, but we should also prove that from, we have taken here A inverse of A is equal to identity. We should also prove this by taking this as a element. A operation A inverse is equal to identity, and operating it with A inverse of A on right side, we can prove that this is A inverse is equal to A inverse of inverse A. So we have proved these three properties. Again, AB inverse is equal, we have to prove AB inverse, that is reversal law. Means A and B are elements of G. Let us suppose A and B are elements of G. So naturally A and B are elements of G, means A operation A inverse B is equal to identity is equal to A inverse operation A, and B is also element of G. So B and B inverse is equal to identity is equal to B inverse operation B, since identity exists in G. Now our target is to prove this result. What we have to do? We can prove this by taking AB and operation B inverse operation A inverse. We will get this will be equal to, by using associative property, A operation B operation B inverse operation A inverse. By using associative property, I can write this as this, and for this side we should write associative property by associative property in G. Again, A is equal to this will be equal to identity and operation A inverse. So I can write here, I use the inverse property in G, and here associative property by using the identity property, I can write this as this one, and this is equal to identity. So we have proved that AB into B inverse, A inverse is equal to identity, means inverse of this is this one. AB belongs to G. Since A belongs to G, B belongs to G, it means A operation B belongs to G, and its inverse, this is an element of G and this is again an element of G. Operated, two elements are operated, and finally we get this is equal to identity. It means one is the inverse of other. So AB is inverse of B inverse, A inverse. So I can write B inverse operation A inverse is equal to AB inverse. From this left hand side, we prove this in this way, and again I should prove this AB inverse A inverse and operation AB. This will again be equal to identity. So from left and right both way, from left side and right hand side, in both way, we can write A operation B, operation A B inverse operation A inverse is equal to identity is equal to B inverse operation A inverse operation AB. So from here we can say that AB inverse is equal to B inverse operation A inverse. Thus we have proved that these four properties, this is known as reversal law. We can generalize this law also in this way: if x1, x2, xn are the elements of G, if x1, x2 and xn are the elements of G, then x1 operation x2 operation x3 and so on operation xn inverse will be equal to xn inverse operation xn minus 1 inverse, and in this way finally x2 inverse and x1 inverse. Thus we can generalize this reversal law in this way, and if the given group is commutative, then naturally it will be equal to A B inverse equal to A inverse B inverse. We can write in this way also, if G is commutative. Thank you to all.